dear students. How are you all? Okay, in our last video we saw Bipin Chaudhary's lapse of memories, first part half. Now today we will go further for the first part of Bipin Chaudhary's lapse of memory. In last video I discussed with you about his lapse of memory. Lapse, that means he forgot his one part of his life, and in this lesson there is a suspense, and we talked about to see this suspense in this lesson. Now what I told you in the first part, I told you that I taught you that when he came back, that means Bipin Chaudhary, when he came back to his after work, he went for purchasing some books for whole week, and at a time he purchased 4 or 5 books, and at that place he saw a man, and the man who stared at him, and how that person looked like, he has a round face, and then the conversation took arise between that two person, and that person told him, do you know me, and etc. And they talked to each other, and at that time Bipin Chaudhary tried to recall his memory that when he was at Ranchi, but no, he was not at Ranchi at that time, but that person, what's the name of that person? Mr. Parimal, and he tried to convey him that you were at Ranchi in the year 1958. Now see, we will see further of the first part of Bipin Chaudhary's lapse of memory. See. We stop here. In 1958 in Ranchi, my name is Parimal Ghosh. The person who stared at Bipin Babu, he was Parimal Ghosh. And then in a surprise, Bipin Babu said, Ranchi? Now Bipin Babu realized that it was not he, but this man who was making a mistake. Then Bipin Babu realized that that person who is trying to say to him that you were at Ranchi, he is making some mistake. So he realized that that person is making mistake. Bipin Babu had never been to Ranchi because in his lifespan he never went Ranchi. He had been at the point of going several times but never made it. He was thinking to going Ranchi so many times, and he planned for it, but he never went there. He smiled and said, so he recalled that I never been to Ranchi. So he smiled and said, do you know who I am? And Bipin Babu said, Parimal Ghosh, that do you know who I am? Who am I? The man raised his eyebrow, and after listening this question, the Parimal Ghosh raised his eyebrow. That means he is trying to making a face, bit his tongue, and he put his tongue between his front of the teeth, between his two teeth. Say, you are asking me that do I know you? Who doesn't know Bipin Chaudhary? And he told him that who don't know, that who are you? Everyone know at Ranchi, so many people know at Ranchi that you are Bipin Chaudhary. Bipin Babu now turned towards the bookshelves and said, but after listening these questions, he is in totally confusing mind, that he turned himself toward the bookshelves and said, still you are making a mistake, my friend. Still now you are also making a mistake. I will never have been Ranchi at time in the year 1958. One often does. I have never been to Ranchi. Once again I am telling you, I have never been Ranchi. I never went to Ranchi in 1958. The man now laughed aloud, and after listening this, Parimal Ghosh laughed loudly. What are you saying, Mr. Chaudhary? And said Bipin Babu, what are you saying, Mr. Chaudhary? What are you saying, Mr. Bipin Babu? You had a fall in a kudru and cut your right knee. Now, from here you can understand that the evidence given by Parimal Ghosh to Bipin Babu, that he said you had a fall in a kudru when they went to kudru fall, and at that time Bipin Babu fell down and he had wounded. That means at his knee he got a cut. I brought you iodine, and for that cut, Parimal Ghosh brought iodine for him for the first aid. I had fixed up a car for you to go to Netherhut the next day. And the second day, Bipin Babu want to go Netarhat, and for that, Parimal was picked up car for him. But you couldn't. But Bipin Babu couldn't went there because of the pain in the knee. Because he had due to fell down, he got a cut in his knee, and so he cannot went to nature hut. Can't you recall anything? And after saying this, after giving this evidence, he asked again Mr. Babu, can't you recall anything? Can't you remember anything? Someone else you know was also in Ranchi at that time, Mr. Dinesh Mukherjee. And he also gave another evidence that I know you better, but someone else, another person is also there who know you at Ranchi. And what's the name of that person? Mr. Dinesh Mukherjee. So, two persons. First, Parimal goes. Second, Mr. Dinesh Mukherjee. So, these two persons knows you at Ranchi. You stayed in a bungalow. And Mr. Dinesh, what he said? You stayed in a bungalow. That means Bipin Chaudhary stayed in a bungalow. You said you didn't like hotel food and would prefer to have your meals cooked by a Bawarchi. And what he told him that you didn't like hotel food and you don't want to live in a hotel, so you don't prefer a hotel food, and for that you like to take a meal made by Bawarchi. Bawarchi here, that means safe. You can also say cook. So, Mr. Bipin Babu liked to eat food made by safe, and he stayed at a bungalow because he don't like to live in a hotel. Mr. Mukherjee stayed with his sister, and Mr. Mukherjee, the third character shown in this lesson, Mr. Mukherjee, he was staying with his sister. You had a big argument about the moon landing, remember? And he also trying to recall him that they both have quarreled with each other about a moon landing. Remember? And he said him, remember? Do you recall something? I will tell you more. If you don't believe this, I can tell you more than when you are at Ranchi. You always carry a bag with your books in it on your sightseeing trips. So whenever you are on sightseeing trips, whenever you are on a tour, you always carry a bag with your books. So there is always a bag which Bipin Chaudhary had, and in that bag he always brought books. Am I right or not? And he also again asked that, am I right? I am saying the truth or not? You can tell me that it is right that you always carry the bag. You have quarreled with Mukherjee, and you don't like to eat food made in hotel. You don't like to live in hotel. You were living in a bungalow. All these evidence given by Parimal. Now see what happened next. Bipin Babu spoke quietly, and then after listening all these things, that I forgot all these things happened to me. So he tried to speak quietly. His eyes still on the books. He was in a bookshop, right? So his eyes still on the books. So he was seeing at the books. Which one in 1958 are you talking about? Then a question arises in his mind, Bipin Chaudhary's mind, and he is asking him that, you are talking about which month of 1958? That you told me that I was in a Ranchi at 1958, but of which month you are talking about? Because he is trying to recall it. So the man said, no sir. The man said October. So what the man said? The man said you were at Ranchi in October. That means in the year 1958, the month was October that you were at Ranchi. No sir, said Bipin Babu. So after listening that, the person, Bipin Babu said, no sir, I was not in the year 1958 at Ranchi. I spent puja in 1958 with a friend in Kanpur. In the year 1958, in the month of October, I spent puja with my friends. So they went for a puja in Kanpur. So he told Parimal that I was in a Kanpur in the year 1958. You are making a mistake, and Bipin Babu tried to convince him that you are making mistake. Good day. And after wishing him, he said good day. But the man didn't go. Here the man, that means Parimal, goes. But Parimal goes, didn't go. Nor did he stop talking, and he continuing his talking, his conversation with Parimal, with Bipin Chaudhary. Bipin Chaudhary tried to stop this conversation and want to go out, but that person Parimal was, he don't want to stop this talking. Very strange. What do you mean I have tea with you in a veranda of your bungalow? And he also giving another evidence that it's a very strange that you forgot these things. He also tried to recall him that one evening I had tea with you in a veranda. That one evening what happened? I was taking a tea with you in a veranda of your bungalow when you were living. You spoke about your family, and in that meeting you told me about your family. You said you had no children, and in that talk you said to me that you had no children and that you had lost your wife 10 years ago, and he was at Ranchi in year 1958. So 10 years before 1958, his wife, Bipin Chaudhary's wife, died. Your only brother had died in Sen. His only brother, that means Bipin Chaudhary had only one brother, and he died due to his madness. In Sen, that means mad. He was mad and he was early died. Which is why you didn't want to visit the mental hospital in Ranchi. And that is the reason that Bipin Chaudhary doesn't like to visit the mental hospital which stayed in Ranchi. When Bipin Babu had paid for the books and was leaving the shop, the man was still looking at him in utter disbelief. And after listening all these things, after listening from Parimal was his personal matter, Bipin Babu was in a full of confusion. So when Bipin Babu had paid for the books, when he paid for purchased books and was leaving the shop and he was going his home, the man was still looking at him in utter disbelief. And the man, that means Parimal, was still looking at him, still stared at him in utter disbelief. Utter disbelief, you can see here the meaning, complete surprise. That I am telling all these things about his life, that he was at a Ranchi, but this man doesn't try to recall it. So here he was in full of confusion. So till this we stop here. We will see the part 2 in our next video. That what is the truth? If Bipin Chaudhary is right, या Parimal Bose is right. So we will see it in our next video. Thank you.